does. So in general, if you consider any programming language, when you say function, what is the functionality of a function? So it just takes an input and it processes and it gives an output, right? Isn't it? So always a function will return a value. When you say function, always it returns a value. It takes an input and it will give an output. So based on the, it will give an output based on the process which it performs inside in the business logic, inside it, right? Okay. So there are two types of functions in the PL SQL. One is single row function and other is multi-row function. So
Excuse
what
me,
exactly
Sridhar.
is single row
I'm sorry.
function? So
Hello, Sridhar.
yeah,
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 actually,
sure.
I can't hear you. Is there any way that I
Uh-huh.
can you can increase the volume because my computer is on max volume right now.
Mine is also max volume. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I mean mine is max actually. I could see that.
I can hear you properly, so
Okay, then let me check it out. Okay, you carry on. I'll check it out.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Yeah. When you say single row function, the single row function will always operate the functionality on a single row and will give a single output. And multi-row functions actually, what they do is, it will take the group of rows and will give a single output. One of the example I can give you is nothing but an average function. And if you say single row function, another example is count function. So sorry, it's not count, it's length function. So length function operates on each and every row, nothing but each and every column, and then it will give an output. When it's an average, so average takes a multiple data, right? In general, when you say an average of a marks, so what you will do? Nothing but you'll get the list of all the marks which you awarded, and then you'll perform average on that, right? So it is taking the set of rows into consideration. That is why it is called multi-row or group function. So length function, it will operate on each and every row. That is why it is called a single row function. So now let's go into the slides and we'll see exactly the functionality and the syntax of that. So every function will take an input and an output, and inside the functionality, inside the function block, we'll be writing our business logic for achieving the desired result. So as I discussed, like there are two types of functions. It operates on only single row and return only one result per row. So different types of single row functions are available for us. Like we have character functions, number functions. Multi-row functions manipulates groups of rows to give one result per group of row, also called as group functions. Okay. So single row functions, you can write in nested functions also. Nothing but you can write one function and another function. Nothing but 2_date followed by 2_char, something like that. So we can write functions. Nothing but we can write in nested functions. And it returns only one result per row. We'll see that how exactly it will work. And these are some of the basic general single row functions which we use in our general most of the times. Case manipulation functions, nothing but converting the data from your upper to lower, lower to upper, and init cap, those kind of stuff. Character manipulation functions, nothing but it will manipulate the data. The concat will give the result, and nothing but it will concat the given input and will give a single result like that. We'll see that exactly. I'll show a few of the examples now. See here, if I want to execute a function, if you remember from yesterday class, like I've been using GL, right? So for this, execute any of your Oracle, these are all Oracle seeded functions, okay? If you want to execute any function, this upper will take only single variable and will give an output. It will convert the given input data into characters and upper character, and it will give the result. So let's try with other functions also, lower. So it will give the data in a lowercase. So this way, all your functions works. Let me tell you that, show you some examples. Yeah, sorry. So lower, upper, yeah. Unit cap will give the data in the initial capital letters. Nothing what we call as a camel case, something in one of the few other programming languages, right? Okay, if you see this one, it is taking the data into the initial letter. The initial letter of your string will be converted into capital letters. So that is what it does. So I mean, these functions are general functions which we always most of the times will be using in our general operations. Okay. So concatenation function will take, like it will join the two strings, and substr, what it will do is, it will take a string and it will give you what you say, the part of your string. Length function will return the length of your string. I think I can show you that. So yeah, this will return the length of your string, nothing but the number of characters which are present in your data. The length, it will take an input of anything, even if you give a number also it will work. Okay. Yes, here I'll show them in this particular example. Will show the list of all the functions that is performing here. The concatenation function it is concatenating the data and will give an output, and substr will return the like the substring of your given input. Nothing but if you have given the starting point, ending point, right? The starting position, ending position. This substr will take an input and it will take the initial position and the final position. Let us run this one. Select substr 2, 5 I'm giving. So what is the expected result from this one? So what is the starting position here? 2 is nothing but from A, right? A followed by from 2. So it will take the starting position at 2 and it is nothing but the 5 is nothing but the total length how much you want. So from the 2 you want the 5 characters. So nothing but A, M, P and L, E. Okay. So if I give 1, so it will start from the 1 and it will give the 5 positions from the 1. Nothing but the length of 5 characters it will give from the starting position. So that way it works. So INSTR function will search a given letter in the string and it will give the position of that. So LPAD, it will pad the data with the left side with a given this asterisk stuff. And this this LPAD most of the times it will be used in the bank information stuff. I think, but in the if you consider your checks or something like that, always the data, the numerical data will be left padded with some asterisks or X marks in checks. RPAD is just quite opposite to LPAD, and the trim is nothing but it will trim this given data. It will trim the particular character from your given string. Okay. So these are the general character functions. Like you can just try out with your examples, or let me show you a few examples now. So I want to operate this on your employee table here rather than the normal general stuff. So let's consider that you want to find out the length of a first name. So how can you operate that one? Simple, right? Employee ID, length of first name for employees, right? So this way, if you execute this one, it will return the length. The length is operating on each and every employee, right? So that's why it is called a single row function. The length is returning the length of first name of each and every employee, isn't it? Getting? So this way you can operate on them, and this way you can try out all your single row functions. Fine. So coming to number function, there are only a few functions which are available for number functions. One is mod, trunc, and round. So mod function will return the reminder, and the trunc function will truncate the value to a specific decimal place. And round function, if you remember normally it will round to a specific integer value, right? So you can see these examples and just work on this one, and you can find the results. Okay. The single row function seems quite easy, but the coming to the group functions, there you'll feel a lot of issues while writing a program. That is a very complex thing. Single row functions are just like just write a function and take an input, it will give an output. Single row functions are quite easy comparable to the group functions. So working with dates, whenever in most of the programming languages, whenever dates comes into picture, we always face a lot of issues because the date each and every country will have a different format, isn't it? If you can consider US, they'll start with a month. If you consider India, they'll start with the date as the starting letter, and even the separation characters also differs, right? So every country will have their own some data format, but while storing the data in the database, always it should be in a specific format which your database can understand. So for that purpose, there are chances that we may convert the data into a specific date format and we'll store it. So whenever you're dealing with the dates, again, you should take much care. And sysdate is one of the function. Sysdate is a function which is written, which is a predefined function. It will give a current date of your database. Sysdate, okay. So there are some other arithmetic operations which you can perform on your dates also, nothing but you can perform all operations. If you see here, this example here, sysdate minus 10, it will give the 10 days before date for me, right? So this way you can operate on your dates also. So why we use, what's the arithmetic operation which needs in general on the dates is nothing but finding out the last working day of your month, or first Friday of the month, or second business day, or first business day. Those kind of things, you'll be using most of the times in general. So for those operations, we'll be performing mathematical operations on the sysdate most of the times. General function which we always most of the times use is like getting the last working day of the month. Another is like first working day of the month. But in few of the companies, they will use the fifth working day of the month for getting some, they're kicking out some pay slips or something like that, like 10th working day or second week, second Friday of the month. So these all things you can get using your sysdate. Not exactly on sysdate I'm saying, but in general, you can manipulate some. There are functions which are available in the date. Using that, we can achieve these kind of results. We have add months, get the last working day of the month. We have some functions which are available. So using that, we can achieve these kind of results. Getting the hours, getting the minutes, and everything will get it. So your month between the date 1 and date 2, it will give written the number of months. Add months, it will add the months to that. Next day, see this one. Next day, it will give the next day of specified this one. Yeah, I think better we can run these things. We'll get. So there are chances these characters may be converted. This is the problem here. Just convert into other characters. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, again, this is a problem here. I don't know exactly. This is getting converted into some other character when I copy into PowerPoint. So that's why I need to replace it every time. Okay, yeah. See here, we'll start with this one now. So months between. Okay, instead of this one, we can give some of the date if you want. 1 August to 2012. 1 September to September. So it's saying that -1, right? Okay, instead of this one, we'll give it as this one. Okay, so it is subtracting August minus July, right? So it is giving 1 month. So add months. So it is January, and we are adding the months, right? 6 months we added. So now it is converted into this month, July month, right? July 94. So this way it is getting all the desired results for you. And next day, when is the next occurrence of Friday? So first Friday is on 1st, and the next Friday will be on 8th, something like that, right? Last day of your, what is the last day of your month? No, just give, if it gives this date here, you'll understand more. So here, the last working day of your month, not last working day, but the last day of your month, right? So this way, you make use of your date functions, and you can get some desired results, and you can work on that, right? Okay. So any doubts in the single row functions? Hello, 1 minute. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so one more thing, there are chances that you may be converting data from one particular format to another format, nothing but from number to string, or string to number, from date to string, and from string to date. So these are the general most of the times which will face in your real world. So what is the necessity of converting from one data format to another data format is nothing but if you get the data from a flat file, so always data will be in string format. So you need to convert the data from one particular format to another format. That is one example. And another example could be, most of the times what happens is there are some particular tables which store the data in a string format rather than in a specific format. They always store the data irrespective of the data. They'll always store in a string format. So maybe for conversion purpose, you maybe need to convert from one particular format to another format. So we have some functions which are specifically for that particular conversion purpose. If you see this to_char, to_ character functions will convert a given number or date into a character. So the name itself says that it is converting the given input format into character. If you consider to_number, to_number will convert the given input format to the number. The same way, the to_date will convert the given format to date. Okay. And this format specifies the format in which you want to convert the given string. So I think I have examples for that. Yeah. So here, to_char, what we have mentioned, sysdate. Sysdate is the date function, right? Sysdate will return the date value, and in this I just mentioned mm. So nothing but it will extract only month from that. So you can see this on output now. So the format, we have this format specifications. When you say the to_character, it will take a format, right? So the format is nothing but we have different formats. Like from the date, you can extract the months, you can extract the minutes, hours, and everything you can extract. If I give around MON, I think it should give me month name. Say November. Like this, you can get it. So this is even applicable. Most of the times, if people who work on Java must know these kind of things. I think. Anyone worked on Java?
I did
We
work
have
on
the simple
Java.
date. Yeah, you have simple data format, right? What is sample data? Oh, yeah, simple data or something. Data format, something. Date format. Sorry. There's a date format function which will convert these kind of things. Yeah, I can try out that. So here, this format will take a different kind of things. If you want to get the date, just dd, and if you want to get the year, you can just mention the year YY like this one. So if you want to get hours, we can mention HH, and this way we can get it. Okay, minutes, I think it is, I don't know, I forgot it. SS is for seconds. Yeah, SS is for seconds. So here it is for seconds. Every time it is giving a new second, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so nested function is nothing but calling a one function another function. See here, what we have done is we are getting the next year here. So to get the current year, what we do to get the current year, we just mention YY like this, right? It will give you the current year. If I add +1 to this one, what it will do? It will return me the 2013. That's the expected result, right? Okay. This example, what this example is doing, it is almost the same function, but we are converting the data into some other format. So input function, this one, what it is doing, it is converting the sysdate into a year format, and it is returning it is returning data in the character format, isn't it? After that, we mentioned again to_number. This data is converted into number now inside, and we have performed the +1 operation on that. So here exactly, it doesn't see many difference for us, whether it's a character format or number format, it doesn't see many difference, but while programming the field SQL part, we'll understand more. So here, to underscore number, what I will do is 1, 2, 3. See here, this is taking some input data, which is already a number, and is giving the same data. But if it is a number, we are giving the course, right? So if any data is in the course, that's generally a string function. It's not a normal number, isn't it? If I give some other output, like if I give yes, will it get converted into number? No, right? Why? Because to underscore number will convert the data into numbers. Nothing but if it is a data, it is converted to stuff, then it will convert. Else it won't convert. So converting is not it is not. It's not like a mapping stuff. It's nothing but like converting letter A to some other number or letter B to some other number. It won't do that stuff. What it will do is just it will extract the numerical data. It will just display. It will convert the format of that into number data. That's it. It doesn't perform any operation on that. So that's why it is giving it invalid number. So, and one more thing, yeah. So whenever you get any errors in the ORCL, you have an error number for that. It's here for our 01722. So every Oracle, whenever you get any errors in the Oracle, you'll have these kind of error numbers. So based on this number, you can identify what's the problem of that. Okay. So it will exactly, if you search for this particular error number, it will say exactly why you're getting that error and what is the, how to debug that one. So we can get those kind of information. These are all standard errors. So whenever you get a specific error, it will give error number and error message also. Yeah. So this is how we nest the function. Yeah. So coming to general functions, yeah. So I think in the starting session we dealt with null, right? So whenever you're comparing data with a null, always you should be careful and you should use is null or is not null operation, isn't it? So here also whenever you want to perform some operations on null, nothing but there are requirements saying that whenever any commission percentage is null, replace that with some data or something like that, right? So we'll see the example now. So we have this data now. So what I will do is I'll just write one more function here. Employee ID, first name, and commission percentage. So okay, now as of now, what it is displaying the commission as null, right? But in general, there are requirements saying that if you want to get a report of your employee saying that who are all the employees who are having null, replace their null percentage with some other data. Nothing but increment their value by 10 or 20, something like that. The employees who are having commission percentage null, so increment their commission into commission value by 100, something like that. Okay. So for perform that particular functionality, let us see how to achieve that. Okay. Before that, let me show you an example of let me explain what exactly NVL is, and then we'll go with that. So NVL is a function which will take two parameters, expression 1 and expression 2. Okay. So when expression 1 is true, nothing but when expression is not null, then expression 1 is returned. If expression 1 is null, then it will return expression 2. See here, this example here, if you consider this one, the expression 1 is not null, nothing but it is having a value. So then this particular SQL query will return 10 for me. Okay. And this particular example here, it returns what it will return, because the first expression is null, so then it will return 20. Getting? So let me run this one. See, this return 10 and this will return 20. Okay. So any doubts in this one? NVL. Clear, right? I'm not getting any any update from you guys. Is it clear or it's not clear?
Sudhir, can you please tell me
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hey Sudhir.
Yeah, I can hear you. Man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. No. I mean, in regular use, where you use this NVL, like I mean to say, I mean you ask like for sys we use for using the system data or whatever, but where do you use this NVL
Mm-hmm.
function?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So NVL most of the times when you're comparing data, like let's consider that you want to display an employee report. Wherever you have commission percentage null, I want to replace with some other character. There are chances of that, right? So or else like if you consider any of your Oracle Cedar tables, most of the time we use it. Uh,
Can we take this
let's
example that
consider
we
that
have a
wherever the employees. Yeah, sure.
yeah?
Yes,
Can we do
that's
an
what I was trying to do it actually.
okay?
Yeah. Here. Now, what we are doing here is now, what are the employees who are having the commission percentage null? If you want to increment their percentage by 100, nothing but find out all the employees whose commission is null. Replace the value by 100. Okay. So rest of the employees don't change. Okay. So I want to achieve these kind of requirement. So how to do that is using NVL I can achieve that. Okay. So how can I do that is just mention NVL. So whenever this commission value is null, replace that with 100. That's it. Remaining things don't change it, because if this is not null, this doesn't make any change here, right? This will automatically return commission percentage itself, right? You can see that now. Okay. Yeah, it's here. Now this commission percentage is null here, but if you see the new commission here, what we are doing here, we are replacing the commission percentage with 100, right? Getting the remaining persons who are having a commission percentage, we did not change any value there, and even this new commission is still the same, right? There is no change here.
So it only
Okay,
works with
let me show
null,
another
right?
example. Maybe you have not received my function now.
Yeah, Sudhir.
Yes, NVL operates only on null. Whenever it gets any data as null, it will return the second expression.
Okay, got it.
Okay, let me try it with another example also. Okay, so what I will do is now, like I will write a where clause. Okay, I will take an input as employee ID. Okay, so I think most of the times there are some reports in the there are reports. What happens is if you give an input, it will work on only that particular record. If it doesn't give any input, it should return all records. The requirement is if I give an input, if input is given, work on the given input. Okay, if no input is given, work on all records. Okay, so how to achieve that? Using NVL we can achieve that. Let me execute this one first, and then I will show you that. So what I will do is I will give input as 198. So what is the expected result? So I'll get the first record, right? This one, the donor person. Okay, what is the error here? Employee underscore ID is error. Okay, now I got one record. Okay, let me run it again with null as an input. I'm giving null as an input now. So what is the expected result? Any guesses? Vinish, any guesses?
Error.
Yeah. So error. Okay, let's see. So I mean, you mean to say that I should not give null as an input?
Yeah, you can give a null as input.
We can give, right? We can give null as an input.
Yeah.
There's no error in that. So any other guesses?
Can you repeat the question again?
Yeah. What I'm asking is, for this particular input, I'm not giving any input. I'm just mentioning the input value as null. So what is the expected result for that? Nothing but I'm passing null for the employee ID, where employee ID is equal to null. So whether it will work or whether it will return any data or whether it will be an error.
Null cannot work on equal.
Yeah, that is right. Yeah, that is right. But what is the expected result?
It
It
will
might
give
not
you,
return any data.
no, it will give the
Yeah,
values
that's
which are null because we are equating it to one, right?
yeah. But in the employees table, we doesn't have any data where employee ID is equal to null.
So it will be zero. We should not get any values.
Right, that's right. So it's not returning any data. But my requirement is, whenever I give, if employee nothing but if input is null, I want to get all the data. If input is null, get all the data. If it input is given, work on the given record. Okay, so using NVL, I can achieve that. Okay. Before that, I think if you remember in our first session, we have like where 1 is equal to 1 scenario, right? Where 1 is equal to 1 scenario, isn't it? Do you remember? And yesterday we had it, right? Okay. Here also, what I will do is using NVL, I will come out with same logic here. So what I will do is, if the user gives nothing but this particular bind variable is null, if this bind variable is null, I want to replace that with the employee ID. So nothing but employee ID is compared with employee ID whenever input value is null. Then I'll get all the data. Simple, isn't it? Got it? So any doubts in this one? So what we are doing here is, if this input value, okay, let me run with 198 now again. So I will get only that specific record. There is no change in the output.
And Sudhir, the
So it doesn't
semicolon
give
is the
input.
syntax, or is there any specific
No.
use of that
The
semicolon?
semicolon is for entering the data. Nothing but whenever you're executing the query, it is asking to enter the data, right? The pop-up
Yeah.
bind variables. We call
Uh-huh.
it as bind variables. So in the real-time PL SQL scenario, we never give these kind of things. Only for our running the query purpose, we are giving it. Because we want to pass some data to our query, right? At runtime, I want to pass some data to my query. So that is why I'm giving a semicolon. That we call it as a bind variable.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So here, if I give input, you'll get only single record. But if I doesn't give any output, I'm getting all records. Nothing but I mentioned null here. I'll get all records now. Okay. Clear in this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. So there is one more function that is called NVL2, this enhanced version of NVL. Not much difference, but little bit difference here. So it takes, and it is having 3 inputs here, 3 expression. If expression 1 is not null, then expression 2 is returned, else expression 3 is returned. See here, so you have having 10, 20, 30 NVL2. So this particular 10 is not null, so then 20 is returned. If in this particular expression if this is null, then it will return the last one. Nothing but if and else condition. If this is true, if this is not null, then second will be returned. If this is null, then the third will be returned. That's the difference. NVL takes only 2 inputs, but NVL takes 3 inputs, 3 expressions, I can say. Okay.
And what if the null is in the middle instead of 20?
Yeah, here you're saying we are just checking the functionality of that. If you want to return something here, NVL2, if this particular expression is null, what it is returning? It is returning 30 for me, right? So okay, in our example here, okay, I'll change this particular requirement another way. What I will do is, I'll come up with new requirement for this one now. Using NVL2, I will achieve that. So what I want to do is, if commission percentage is null, increment the percentage, nothing but assign value 100. If it is not null, increment it by nothing but multiply it by 100. Okay, using NVL2 I can achieve that. So let's see how I can achieve that. So what I will do is, so what is our requirement? If commission percentage is null, it should be 100. If it is not null, what I want to do is I want to multiply with 100, isn't it? So using our NVL we cannot achieve that one, but using NVL2 I can achieve this, isn't it? If you want to perform some operation based on the NVL value, null value, this is quite good to use. If it is null, which is written, sorry, see, if it is null, this is written, right? So this is wrong here. So we should mention that here. Yeah, this is correct now. See here, wherever the commission percentage is null, it is replaced with 100, but wherever the commission percentage is not null, it is multiplied with 100. 0.4 is converted into 40, 3 is converted into 30, this way. Dot 25 is converted to 25. This is how we use the NVL2 function.
So in this NVL2 function, we don't need to have a data as null, right?
No, we can have, see here, this was null, isn't it? This particular, this for this employee, the percentage was null, and we're replacing it with 100, right?
No. My
This one.
question is, when you compare to NVL, for NVL we should have something as null. It doesn't work.
Not exactly. See, no. See, not exactly. So why we use NVL is whenever you're having a chances of having data as null, we'll be using NVL. It's not necessary that you should always the data which you pass to NVL should be null, isn't it? Why we use NVL is there are chances that you're expecting the chances that data may be null. That's why you don't want to break your query. You want to execute the query irrespective of the data, right? So that's why you will use NVL.
Okay.
It's like a first aid, it's like first aid. Because there are chances the data may be null and you doesn't want to get any error while running it. So that's why we are using NVL.
Okay.
Or there are chances that it could be kind of a requirement also. Isn't it? If you consider this particular first query, what we are doing here is we have NVL, we are taking in NVL, right? Because in the input there are chances that I may pass a parameter or I may not pass a parameter. Nothing but I will give input as null. But if I pass null as an input, I want to fetch all the records. I don't want my query should be blank. I don't want the result should be blank. So that's why
So
I'm
instead of
replacing
that,
that
we
with
can
null.
just change it to a primary key, right?
Which one? Yeah, of course. Okay. Here in this example, employee, see this, if you consider this as an input parameter, I'm not saying this employee ID will be null, but input parameter can be null, right? Input parameter which I'm passing the data. While
Okay.
writing your report in the Oracle app scenario, while writing the report, there are chances that you may be giving an invoice number or you may not be giving invoice number, right? But if it doesn't give an invoice number, you'll get the invoices, all the set of invoices for the given month or something like that. But if you give a specific invoice, you'll get only that specific invoice later. So this could be a normal general requirement. Or else, okay, I'll come up with one more requirement now. See here. Okay, what I will do is I'll take department number as input because there are some employees whose department ID is null. Okay, what I will do is, before that, let me check what are the departments present here first. So, department 50, I'll take 50 as an input now. Department is equal to colon 1. So if I give department 50, I'm getting the employees of only 50, right? If I give 120, I'll get only 120 records. Okay, there is no 120 here. Okay, I'll take 20 now. See, now I got 2 records, right? But there are chances that there are some employees whose department value is null.
That we don't know.
There are some employees whose department value is null. If I give null as input, I should get that specific record, right? But I'm not getting the record now. Why? Okay, I'll show you that. There is one particular employee whose department ID is null. Where department ID is null. Okay, there are 4 employees. Okay, not one employee. There are 4 employees whose department ID is null. But why it is not fetching the data here? Because I'm giving the input as null. I'm passing input as null, but it is not fetching the data. So why it is not fetching? I mean, if you remember our first session, like whenever you're comparing null is equal to never works, isn't it? Isn't it? Okay, but instead, how to achieve that result is I need to use 2 NVL functions here. So let me show you that. I should use NVL on the left side. I need to replace with some gen data here. At the same time here, if I just, it seems quite complicated, but this is how you'll get the results. Without this, you can't get it. Okay.
Just showing
You understood anything in this?
behind your head.
got any data here? Understood anything here?
Yeah.
What is the logic I'm following here? Okay,
Just
this logic says
like
that
null with null.
whenever the data which users sends is null, okay, replace that with 99. At the same time, whenever the department ID is null, because we are aware that null is equal to null never works,
Yeah.
isn't it? Null equal to null never works. So we want to replace the department ID with 99 whenever it finds a department whose value is null, isn't it?
99 equal to 99.
Yeah, 99 is equal to 99 becomes, yes. Then it will become true. Okay, got the idea?
Yeah, got it. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, this nullif function is one more function which will return, which will take two expressions and it will return this, is here. Okay, if expression 1 and expression 2 are equal, then null else expression 1 is written. If both expressions are equal, then it will return null else expression 2 is written. Sorry, expression 1 is written. Here what it is doing here, 4 into 3 12, 3 into 2 6, right? So here both expressions are not equal, right? So that's why it is returning the first expression. But in the second case, both expressions are equal. Nothing but both expressions are evaluating the same result, 6, 6. So it is written null in this case. So that's the only difference. Now this we'll see later. I'll want to explain the function now. Yeah, case expression. Yeah, there's one more important function which we use generally. So case expression will take a, like it will take one input variable and it is compared with the list of cases which are present in that, and it will return that particular expression. If you consider this example here, see here, it is taking input as x, okay, and this x value is compared with all the expressions which are all the when cases, when conditions which are present inside this one. So how it is performing is, it is case is a keyword and it's taking one expression, and in the when condition, what we are doing is when b, nothing but this p is compared with x. So is this true? This is not true. So this is not evaluated. And is this true? This is also not true. Then this is also not evaluated. That comes here, and the else condition will never check any value here. Automatically this will get displayed. Hello somebody. Okay, let us change my input now. I'll change it to a. So I should print hello a now, right? So this is how we use case. We can make use of that in our this employee also. Let's consider that. What we want to do is whenever department ID is what you say, some 50, okay, I want to display as hello 50 or something, hello department 50, okay, else I don't want to display any message. Dummy department, or like other than 50, okay, and this just this is the alias name for your column. Here now what is displaying? Yeah, okay, let me display this also. So here there was department 50 and it is displaying hello department 50. There's a department number 10, it is displaying other than 50. Got it? This is how we use case expression in your select statement. So you can see the syntax of this one. Here, case is expression. Case is a keyword which will take an expression as input, and when case expression, when comparison expression, nothing but this expression is compared with this expression, and if it is both are equal, then it will return this value. And if they're not equal, it will get into another expression and will compare it again. If it is true, then it will return it. If it is not true, again it will go back to the next expression. So until unless it forms an expression value. So any doubts in the case expression? Okay, I'm assuming that you understood. So decode is quite, I mean, a little bit similar to that one, but a little bit different. See here, what we do is, in the decode function, it will, the first expression is evaluated and it is compared with search, and it is compared with this one. If it is equal, this result 1 will be returned. If it is not equal, then it is compared with search 2, else result 2 will be displayed. Like that it will go on. After that, at the end, again you'll have a default value. We'll see that now. So what I will do is, I will take an input, some input data, hello, sample or sample, and if the given input is equal to sample, I want to display hello sample, else I want to display not a sample. So instead of this one, what I will do is, I will take this as an input parameter. I'm giving :1 now. So if I give an input as sample, hello sample will be displayed, else not a sample will be displayed. Okay, it is saying that from keyword is missing because we are not given from dual. So now hello sample is displayed. Okay, I'll run it again and I'll give it different input now. So expected result should be not a sample. Clear? Okay, we can make so that but decoding here also if you want. You can check out with your employee record also. So this is about decode, and by this our single row functions are completed.
Can you please
So
let
try
me
to
know?
practice the examples which are there here.
Hi, Sridhar.
Yeah.
Can you please let me know where we can use this decode actually in generally?
Yeah, I'll tell you that. Yeah, see here, why we use decode is nothing but if you're there, let's consider that there is a change of department name. There's a change in the department name, like you want to display that particular information as an output. So what we do is, okay, here if you consider this example here, okay, let's take some input here. Okay, with job ID, like let's consider that your job ID is changed. They have given a new name for the job ID. Okay, so time being, they doesn't want to disturb the database, but in the reports they want to change it to a new name. Okay, this could be some of the requirement in general. What happens is, let's consider that they're changing the department. Officially, they change the job ID, but they doesn't want to update in the database as it is possible. As soon as possible, they doesn't want to update it because there could be some issues, right? So what they want to do is, but in the report, they want to display it as another name, or else let's consider that they want to display some with a different name as an output in the report, rather than what is the data is stored in the database. So we can, in this kind of scenarios, we can make use of decode. So we'll see that how exactly we can use those kind of things here. Last name, what I will do is job underscore ID decode. If job underscore ID is sh clerk, what I want to do is housekeeping clerk. Okay, like a housekeeping department, I will keep it. This is a good name, right? Yeah. So for IT programmer, I want to replace that with a software engineer or software developer, because internally the data is different, but while displaying it, you want to display in another way, isn't it? It could be some of the requirement in general most of the times. So what we are doing is, if job ID is sh clerk, display that with housekeeping department. If job ID is IT programmer, display with software developer, isn't it? This is what we are doing here. So let us run the query now. So wherever IT programmer is there, it is displaying it as software developer. Wherever sh clerk is there, it is displaying as housekeeping department. Okay, I'll come up with one more also now. FI account, I will display as financial present, finance department, I can say. So what we are missing here? Okay, we are missing comma here. Understood? Any doubts on this again?
It's
So
good.
try to practice on this all the functions which we covered. Yeah, tell me. Someone is saying hello. Hello, is this okay?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay for me.
let yeah, be interactive, because I cannot understand, right, whether you're getting not getting it or not. So if you doesn't understand, I can repeat it.
No, no, no. I got it. I got it. I'm not sure with the
Okay.
others.
Yeah. Is all on the same page? Is everyone understood? You can just come back to me. If you have any, don't be hesitant. If you doesn't, if you're not getting, just come back to me. Because this is the basics, and you should have a good understanding of the basics. Because in the next session, they seems to be quite complex. Like you will be having a cursors, you will be having packages for loops, and those seems quite complex if you doesn't understand these kind of simple things. These are the basic foundation for your SQL. Okay. And you should understand the scenarios also. It's not that just using the function and executing it, but in which scenario you will use it. What is the requirements? If you get a requirement saying that you want you want to achieve the desired functionality, but you should understand which function to use in those kind of scenarios. That that way you should come up with. See, as of now, what I'm doing is I'm just writing a function and I'm executing it. It seems simpler, but you should understand exactly why we use that function and in which scenarios you'll use that function, in which business requirements you'll come up with, you'll be using those functions. So you should think in that way also. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So try to practice and just I'll send the slides, and maybe we have not covered up the joints. We'll cover up tomorrow because the joints will take around half an hour or 45 minutes. So we'll cover up that tomorrow.
Okay,
We
thank
have
you.
5. Yeah, fine. So tomorrow same time again, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, bye. Bye all of you. Yeah, bye.